Hey everyone, what's going on? I'm sure you guys saw my post about asking some questions, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up right now and answer some of your questions about my new signature guitar. So I basically am just gonna read off the question and name the person that wrote it, and then I'm gonna answer it. So Angus Ross asked, how is the neck profile, and is it phenomenal for shredding and chords? And to answer this question in short, yes, it's amazing for both. I made it to be very versatile for both things. I have it so that it's slightly thicker on the low end, so it gives it a little bit more beefiness. It's very easy for doing like big bar chords or whatever. You can see that it is it's flat in the middle, and then the edges kind of round out. It has a really unique shape. I kind of combined what I have on my Legator and on my Esoterik because I like the feel of both of those, but having a combination of the two of them has created for like a very, very easy like shreddable neck, and it's very comfortable to play for long periods of time. I also added a heel at the very bottom, so it would feel like a standard neck for people that aren't used to headless guitars yet, because I was not. So it made the transition extremely easy, and it gives it a lot more support, plus more wood, so better sustain and everything else. Let's go on to the next one. Andrew asked, are there variations of the guitar in the works? To answer that, I'm talking to Claas about it, and we have yet to figure out exactly what we want to do, but yes, it is in the works, and hopefully something, will come out soon with lower models, in between models, or, that are just as good, just a little bit cheaper or whatever. So we will see, and I'll keep everyone posted on that for sure. What inspired the shape of your new guitar? That was asked by Charles Bustle. So this is probably going to be the biggest one because a lot of people have asked me this. To be completely honest, it's kind of like it was just a comfort thing. So whenever I played other guitars, one thing I hated was that the horn right here would get in the way of seeing my neck sometimes when I was playing live. And it's more for when you're standing up and behind the neck a little bit, or if you have your peripheral vision, like kind of looking down at it, you can't see it quite as well. And I know it's a little thing, but the whole point of this guitar was to just make it a beast. I wanted to make it so it had no flaws, like, at all. So the inspiration was honestly comfort, speed, ergonomics, like everyone likes to use for a buzzword, right? And honestly, I love how it looks personally, but I also have had all the benefits of getting to play it and see how well it performs with this exact shape. I wanted the shape down here to be like it is so I can sit and play like this. I can also sit and play here for classical style very easily. And then standing up, it's super easy because it's very balanced and there's so much room on the neck to do whatever you need to, even if you come down here to do like 2-finger tapping or whatever. So I hope that answers the question a little bit. I'm sure someone will ask it again, so I'll try and reiterate a little bit differently. So, why cut off the upper bound? That was asked by Dean Murphy. And why the two separate types of wood for the wings? So I answered the upper bound, the whole upper horn, and that's just like more of a vision thing, as well as I didn't see the need for it. It didn't really add anything to me, and aesthetically it doesn't do anything for me whether it's there or not, to be completely honest. The reason for the two different types of wood, that's a great question, and that's one of the biggest inspirations that made me want to go get a signature model and really try and make it stand out a little bit. I love the low end on guitars that have maple, especially when it's a 7-string or below, because it has a lot more pop, it has a lot more punch, and it has a lot of clarity, in all the chords. And the high end, I love for soloing with just really round, rich maple sound, or mahogany sound, sorry. So whenever I do leads, I love having to do leads on my Esoterik because that thing is just so easy to rip on, and the wood on it is just gorgeous mahogany, and it has a walnut maple neck. That's exactly what I got on this 5-piece. So I loved that aspect for doing solos, but then for doing a lot of the rhythm stuff, I tend to use a maple, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes I will use my mahogany guitars and stuff, but a lot of times they'll have a maple top or something like that at least. Doesn't make a huge difference, but still. So I wanted to split the two so I could get the best of both worlds, essentially. I know how cliche that sounds, but it really did make a huge difference, and it gave a great, unique sound to this guitar, which has been extremely versatile compared to anything else I've been playing. I just wanted to experiment and try something new, and I'm so glad I did because it sounds incredible and it feels great, and like I said, it really is the best of both worlds. Josh Null asked, does it gent? Yes, it gents. Joshua Johnson asked about the design. I've never seen anything like this before in my life, so please tag me in the video when you post it. Why you chose this particular design. So, once again, I wanted something that was a 7-string. I wanted something lightweight, very easy to play on, super versatile, comfy, could play in any positions, because I play like this, and I play in classical, I play standing up, I do all of them. I like the feeling of all of them for different reasons, in different genres and stuff. Let's see, Richard Dunlop. I've seen your guys' names so many times, but I never read them out loud, so it's kind of funny. How do you like the 26 frets, and are they hard to fret on the higher strings due to the limited space between them? So what he's talking about is, since this is a 25.5 fan fret to 27, so the low end is 27. That's what a fan fret is, basically. So you get the key qualities of having the longer neck guitar for lower tunings, but then you still maintain that really high polished sound for the high end when you have it at the 25, which is the smaller scale length. That's the word I was looking for. So it gets the best of both worlds. That's why people fan their frets, in case anyone didn't know. But the 26, it's really easy to access. I mean, I can get up here and do whatever I want. There's really no limiting, and nothing that gets in the way at all. So I really love it. And to answer your question about the frets being closer, I use on my Esoterik, that has 24 frets, and not 26, but it has 24, and that's a 25.5, and I do that one just fine. Like I said, I record all my solos on that until I got this. So up to this point, that's all I've been using for shredding, including when I was really high up on the frets. And if you do play a 27-inch scale length, like on my Legator, then you do have more room up there. I will give you that. But I mean, I grew up on 25s scale lengths, so I mean 27s I just started getting into like a couple years ago, really. So it's not really been a problem for me at all using these. I really like having them, especially for doing taps, because a lot of times I'll be in key signatures that require the taps that are just past that 24th fret, and I could never access them. So it allows me to sweep and tap higher up, which is really cool. Ben Copeman, how snug do those plates fit? Also, how well does the tremolo keep its intonation as you use it, given it's fanned? So the fan fret does not really affect the tremolo on this very much, because these are fanned as well. So this tremolo system is really great. It's made by Technology for Musicians, I believe, and it's really easy to access the tuners and stuff. I mean, I just use my pick and twist them. And like I said, it's kind of a great cross between a Kahler and a Floyd Rose. And the reason why I say that is because it has the stability of a Kahler and the ease of use, but it has that classic feel. Like, it has the same bar as you find on the on the rows. And this also has one of my favorite aspects of it is being able to adjust the individual string heights just like on a Kaler. So you can make it match the radius of the neck, which is really cool. What's the other thing? How snug do the plates fit? These things are seriously on here so well and so perfectly like on it that I actually had to get a little screwdriver when I was taking it off to adjust the springs a little bit. I had to get a screwdriver in here and kind of pop them out because they're a very tight fit, which is really cool. I really like that. Let's see. Oh man, I'm gonna butcher this name. This is bad. Mikolaj Makowaski. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Why did you decide to go for this particular set of Duncans? Well, the Blackout 7s I love, and like I said, I use my Esoterik for solos on all my records up to this point, and they've always gotten me that sound that a lot of people have said they recognize when they hear me solo, so that's really cool, and I didn't really want to give that up, so I put them in here, and I really didn't know if the wood was going to affect the tone that much, but it did a lot. It really did, having these two split. So having the different woods really did still affect the sound a lot, and that's one reason I like the Blackout so much is they're active pickups like EMG would be and stuff, but they just, I don't know, they sound a lot more organic to me, and people can argue me on that all they want, but I mean at the end of the day it comes down to what your ear tells you, and maybe my ear's stupid, I don't know, but I really like how they sound, and I think they sound a hell of a lot better than EMGs. Especially on clean channels and in clarity, sustain, beefiness. I just think they sound more real. They don't sound as plastic and stuff.